Sean. We're ready.
It is Wednesday, November 5th, 2025, and it's time to wake up, Wilmington.
We're live.
Good morning, Wilmington. I am Dustin Pierce.
And I'm Molly Campbell.
And Rick announced 5 minutes before we got here that we're hosting the show today by ourselves.
Aren't I good? Yeah.
So today's content will be just a surprise to you as it is to us.
That's the way it is every day with us.
Yeah.
We play it by ear.
But luckily, there's some fun things to talk about. Not only do we have our November newspaper that just came out, a lot of good things inside of here. You may have got this in your mailbox. If not, you can get it at Kroger, Guest of Air Cruise, Sam's Meat, CEF, and other businesses around town. Let's talk about what's inside of here. And you can also grab one of our cool Wilmington Better Together stickers. It has our iconic Shaka as the W, and then red, white, and blue, for whatever your political affiliation is, and a nice, cool Wilmington Pride sticker. Those are also around town. And we had an election last night, so we can discuss the results of that and get some audience input as what they think about the results. Yeah. So,
I'm ready.
You ready, Rick?
Yeah. Let's get started.
All right. So the first thing we have to talk about today is that you probably heard this a few weeks ago, but Simon Hayes won the 2025 Columbus Marathon. So that was pretty crazy. It was a very rainy day, I believe. Molly got to interview him, and I think he's off, or he's training for the Olympics, an Olympic qualifier.
He said his goal is like, so when we spoke to him, he said that there's like a difference between like goals and dreams. So his goal is the Olympic trials, which is before the Olympics. So he wants to go to that, where he would need a time of 2 hours and 16 minutes. But then a dream would be the actual Olympics and not just the trials. But he kind of talked about how like the goal is obviously, like more realistic. And so that's his goal. And then dream, of course, would be the Olympics.
Yeah, it's like one goal at a time, like get the one step first and then the next step. If you don't know Simon Hayes, he is the son of Brad Hayes, who owns Kava House and Trail House and now Southridge Brewing? Yes. Yep. And Brad also, he roasts the coffee beans for Kava House and also works at a race pacing company.
Timing company.
So helping time races around the area. He just got that recently. He's also a graduate of Wilmington City Schools, of Wilmington College, and then also has his master's from Wilmington College as well. So all Wilmington guy.
Good guy.
Yeah, good guy. We might have him on our podcast soon. He interviewed with Molly, or he talked to Molly for the paper, and Molly said he was kind of chatty, so I'm sure he'd love to be on our podcast.
Yeah, he had
funny guy too.
He had a lot of good stuff to say. And I feel like it would be helpful for runners too, because Jessica, one of the women that works with us, she came as well, and she's a runner, and I feel like she got some good information from him.
Like what? Were some tips?
Well, he was like, I don't know, they were talking about how it's like good for your immune system to run, and how he also said, which we both, Jessica and I, thought was interesting, that like each pair of running shoes is good for like 3 to 400 miles maybe, or 500 miles. And he said if he wasn't alternating his running shoes, he would go through like one pair a month. So they kind of talked about like, where do you put your water bottle like when you run? Where do you, you know, what kind of running shoes, that kind of stuff.
What brand shoes did he have?
He didn't say. We didn't ask. I didn't even think about it.
Oh man, I have the ones that have a little like on it. I think it's Ace or something, Acer. Or, I don't even know what they're called, but they're running shoes.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Most running shoes are very thin. They're not
Yeah.
they're not like a regular tennis shoe, or at least they were when I ran. I ran the 2 mile when I was in high school. Now it's whatever the meters equivalent is, but so I ran. My fastest time in the 2 mile was 10 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay,
So 10 and a half minutes.
that's pretty good.
And that was my senior year, and that was in the final event that I ran in. So I went out with a bang, I guess you could say.
That was the last time you ran?
That was a little bit ago, yes.
Nice. I ran in the Cornfest 5K. I was planning on showing up with my corn costume, and then I got roped into actually running it, and I hadn't trained. I never ran more than a mile before that, so I was proud of myself for being able to finish a 5K.
Yeah, well, I was happy that I could
Anybody could do it, is that what you're going to say?
Well, I was going to say, I was
Thanks.
just happy that I could run a mile in under 5 minutes, because that,
Under 5 minutes?
under 5 minutes.
Okay.
Now, you can't put, at least as a 2 mile runner, I couldn't put 2 5-minute, but because then obviously 10 and a half minutes is an extra half minute. But you obviously are going to slow down your second, mile when you do a 2 mile run. But and I hated running, but I was good at it, and I wanted a varsity letter, and I wanted to be in the varsity club. So it was the ego that propelled me, because it certainly wasn't that I enjoyed running. And I'm sure I was very healthy back then, but I weighed like 145 pounds. But running was not, I didn't find running relaxing or fun or anything else. And when you run the 2 mile, or in that number of, that length of running, you have to run for speed and you have to run for distance. So we would run 10 miles and 20 miles at a time. And we would also have to run 110s, which would be, a quarter of the track. And so we had to run sprints and things like that, because you have to be fast as well as have endurance.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're sort of like in the middle there. I should have been a pole vaulter or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Would have been more fun.
I'm Molly's going to hate me for this, but...
I knew it. I knew it.
You knew as soon as you said that,
I feel like
I
I
was
know
going to
what
throw you
you're
under the bus. Molly's boyfriend is like he works for Miami University and is not a pole vaulter, but he's like a thrower, shot putter.
Yeah.
Javelin?
Well, all of it, yeah. So he's a throws coach, but then he also threw in college, and then he throws post-collegiately. So he throws hammer, which is the big ball on the chain, and then he throws
Shot put?
shot put, yep, and then he throws discus.
Yeah.
And javelin sometimes, but he's more of a, like, just his build is better for hammer and shot put and discus.
Well, typically, runners don't hang out with the field event people. They're like a different crew. But I think that field event, participants probably had a lot more fun in track than runners, because all we did was run.
Yeah.
And then you've got cross country. You can run, when you're not running on the track. And I ran cross country, and that was nice, because back then. But the problem with the track back when I ran track, the material that the track was made of was cinder. So you didn't want to fall down, because it's like lava. And if you would fall down while you were running, you would get all kinds of scrapes and cuts and everything. I don't know why they used cinder, but that was we didn't have these all-weather tracks. The only all-weather track I ever ran on, once again, was when I got that 10-minute, 30-second in my senior year in it was the league championships, and it was at Wayne High School, and they had just installed the first all-weather track in the league the Beaver Creek was.
Does all weather mean it's heated, or what does that mean?
It just means that it was all surface, that it wasn't cinder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't lava.
Yeah, it wasn't lava.
Like cinder block? Like, is that what it is?
The cinder is like, glass lava almost. It's like what you would use in a grill, you know. And like I said, I have no idea why that was on the track, but I ran, 4 years of high school on a cinder track at Beaver Creek. Now they've got all weather, of course, but all surface. But and all tracks are all surface now. Wilmington had just put a new one down recently at Wilmington College, and Wilmington itself, they've got half a track because Wilmington had to give up some of their track around the stadium because the stadium was expanded when they redid the stadium and put the new turf down at Wilmington a few years, about a decade ago. But Wilmington doesn't have any plans, at least that I see in the future, of putting in a real track. So they have to conduct all their meets somewhere else because they can't run them. They have to either do it at Wilmington College or anyway.
You mean the high school? High school doesn't have plans?
Yeah. High school doesn't have a track any longer. Well, I mean, they've got 4 lanes, but you can't have a track meet with 4 lanes. You got to have 8 lanes, an 8-lane track.
Okay.
And Wilmington doesn't have that, so I guess they'll use the college. That's
That's interesting.
Yeah, but track, that was the only sport that I participated in. That was the only sport that I lettered in. But like I said, I was successful at it, and so that's why. And it all came back from my paper route and riding my bicycle. That's what built up my endurance in my legs. That's right. Yeah. In Beaver Creek, the houses are at least 2 acres apart. So, or at least they were back then. And so I had to, for 50 customers, I had to ride a fur piece, as they say. Plus, it was like 5 miles to pick up the papers and then 5 more miles back to do my paper route. So it was all my paper route.
Yeah.
My first business.
I remember in high school, all the runners would have T-shirts that would say, "Our sport is your punishment" or something. I'm like, okay, guys, whatever makes you feel better.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of sports out there that you can play.
Yeah.
Now, if I was, and they say that we're maybe another year off, but pickleball, I think, I played tennis a lot when I was younger. I can't play tennis now. It's just too rough to try to do that. But pickleball started out with us old people, and then all the young people kind of took it over, and they play it now. And of course, as I had said, the Columbus Sliders out of Columbus, they won the championship this year, which was a big thing for pickleball. And,
they won it, like, was it national championship or?
Yeah.
That's cool.
They won the national championship in New York City. And so anyway, there is a force in Columbus as far as their professional team up there. And pickleball, like I said, it's a lot of tennis players have been given second life because if they've had an injury in tennis or something that prevents them from being quite as fluid and mobile, they can play pickleball and still be very competitive as far as on the pickleball court. And it's exactly half the size of a tennis court. So I vote for pickleball in the future. Maybe if I have a second life, I'll be a pickleball player rather than run track.
I mean, the city just built a new pickleball course over at Denver Park. You could start.
Yeah, and I haven't gone out to take a look at them. I think, how many are there? 4?
4.
Yeah. So I imagine they'll probably stay pretty busy. And the question will be, will it be the older folk that occupy them, or will a lot of young people? I mean, the young people, they've got kids now. I've seen at the pro level as young as 12 years old. And the number 1 pickleball player in the country, she's 18 years old. She's worth $3 million playing pickleball. Nice. And her grandfather's the person that got her to playing pickleball. And because she was a very good soccer player, but she dominates the pickleball world as far as anyway, Anna Lee Waters is her name.
Do you know where Wilmington's motto comes from of "We honor our champions"?
Well, they didn't make it for me, so I don't know.
I mean, 1810 probably around when you and you're in high school. Know? I do not know. It's not a trick question.
You should know.
Maybe.
You should know all that historic,
I mean, I'm asking questions. I don't know everything right now.
Yeah, well,
I have some time.
I know most everything, but I don't know that now. But I like the motto. It's a good motto.
We honor our champions, yeah.
And they do. I mean, any of the champions, as you see coming into the city, they always post state champions and various champions. And, Gabby won the NCAA championship, and she's up there. The golfer from Clinton Massey. And so, I mean, we've had a lot of great athletes out of this part of, out of Wilmington and Clinton County. So, had a lot of good sports people.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's take a break. It's 8:13. When we come back, you'll have all kinds of new information for us out of that newspaper chock full of new information, right?
Yep.
All right, we'll be back.
Welcome to downtown Wilmington, Ohio, the place to be. Experience something new with your family and friends in this vibrant and family-friendly historic district. When it comes to dining, shopping, and entertainment, downtown Wilmington has it all. From quick bites to high-end diners, we have a variety of food options to satisfy your taste buds. Explore our artisan boutique shops, jewelers, and florists for unique finds. Pamper yourself with soothing spa treatments, rejuvenating massages, and stylish haircuts at our top-notch studios. Dive into the world of art with our captivating galleries. And catch a show at the historic Murphy Theater, featuring awe-inspiring performances and cultural events. Immerse yourself in history by visiting our iconic landmarks, such as the Murphy Theater, historic General Denver Hotel, our Cultural History Center, and beautifully preserved historic architecture. Throughout the year, Main Street Wilmington hosts a variety of exciting events that embody the spirit of our town. From the Hometown Holodazzle Illuminated Parade to the family-friendly Halloween event and our lively wine walk, there's always something fun happening. Additionally, the Convention and Visitors Bureau presents a summer concert series featuring the annual Rock the Block, and we also have our weekly farmers market. We boast a designated outdoor refreshment area where you can purchase alcoholic beverages and carry them as you explore the town. So what are you waiting for? Plan your next weekend getaway in downtown Wilmington. Head over to mainstreetwilmington.com for all the latest updates on events, dining, shopping, and entertainment. Downtown Wilmington, Ohio is the place to be. We extend our gratitude to Ralph's American Grill, World Equestrian Center, and R&L Carriers for their sponsorship that supported the creation of this video.
Mayonnaise, it's not just for breakfast anymore.
Just ask my armpits.
I'm Amanda Martin,
And I'm Steve Burnett. Those stories and more.
including what's coming to the Murphy Theater.
Ohio's hometown theater. It's a museum with a stage in downtown Wilmington.
That's what you can expect on The Murphy Report. Journalism with integrity.
And just a touch of sass.
The Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and on our own YouTube channel with a new report every Monday.
Now, you put mayonnaise on just about everything, don't you, Amanda?
I do, Steve. How about you?
I'm allergic to most condiments. The Murphy Report. If it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio, the perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization, event, or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com, or give us a call at 740-335.
But I think it's also the amount of time that has to be committed to actually being physically in the mayor's office. Because as it stands right now, and we are on the air,
Are we back?
as it is.
People have no idea what we're talking about.
Well, I think that we will let them know what we're
We'll
talking
let them know. We're having some interesting conversations about city government.
Right.
So we'll
Which
probably.
everybody in Wilmington should be interested in their city government. And
Yeah.
obviously, this is what's controlling, all the city services and the services that they get here.
Yeah. So we can just talk right about that, I guess.
Sure.
So city council race last night, contested at-large seats. There were 4 contestants running for 3 seats. 3 of them were Republican, and 1 of them was independent. And if you've been around Clinton County for a while, you know how that race went.
You went just by the R's and the I's. Right?
Yeah. So let's see. Dennis Gurman, Jamie Knowles, and and then Kelly Tolliver will be the new at-large members in 2026. Knowles and Tolliver are currently serving on council, so they'll continue. And Gurman, I think, or Jermaine. I'm not saying Gurman.
I
Jermaine,
thought
right?
it was Gurman.
Is it
I think it's Gurman?
Is it Gurman? Okay.
I think so.
I think I was thinking
Yeah.
Jermaine.
I
'cause let's
apologize
see.
if we're mispronouncing your name,
Yeah.
but you can always let us know.
Yeah.
Now, is that a male or female?
It's a male.
It's a male.
Dennis, yeah.
Are they all men that
All
took
men.
those positions?
Yeah.
Chauvinistic.
Yeah. I heard Dennis speak So I guess he worked for the city for a while. I heard him speak at the Clinton County Republican Women's Club. He seems to have some good stuff to say, has some good experience, so I'm sure he'll do well as council member. Yeah. But if anyone has any thoughts, they can chime in, I guess, and
Right now,
comment.
were there any in the actual precincts or for instance, I know
Every ward was running a council member, but none of the wards were contested.
Don Wells was reelected, Mike
Yeah.
Snar was reelected.
Yep.
Was there another one?
Bob Osborne, right, as president?
Bob Osborne is.
You said
president
Michael
of
Smart,
council.
and then David Nanstead.
Well, congratulations to all, and that's not untypical of people not running against Republican candidates. If you get the Republican nomination in Clinton County, it's pretty much a shoo-in to actually getting the position. It's very rare that a Republican gets the nomination and a Democrat runs against him and a Democrat wins. I don't know. We've only had one Democrat
So
mayor that I can remember.
David Risk, right?
David Risk, yeah, and he was a two-term.
Did he run contested?
I don't know. I honestly don't know whether he actually ran a contested race or not. But he, and of course, he wasn't a full-time mayor either. You know, we talked, and that's what we were talking about when we came back from the break. Because David was general manager over at the Ford dealership, which is now Bosom. I
didn't realize he still worked there.
Yeah. Well, I think he still works there. But yeah, he's worked there for years. And David, you know, the time that he was married, the only meetings I had with David were not pleasant. And that was only because I had the nightclub next door at Sandra Walker's, and I was tired of all my customers being pulled over and given citations and tickets because they were driving while intoxicated, and I wanted the cab.
You were in support of driving while intoxicated?
Well, no, I wanted the cab service to have extended hours so that there was transportation, because we got back to this. And did you ever find that out?
No, I didn't.
Where we wanted to know whether there is legally the ability to have a cab service that operates and be licensed in Wilmington, because our cab service, as I understood it, at least this is when David and I had these conversations in the mayor's office years ago, because I was trying to lobby to get the extension, the hours extended. And I don't know, how late does the cab run now? 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock?
They extended it.
Actually, it's in the paper.
Oh, it's in our
this
paper,
month.
yeah.
Wow.
If you read our paper.
Well,
Midnight.
I haven't read it, but it did come to my home.
Okay.
It goes until midnight every day, but Sunday. Sunday it goes until 3 p.m. But after 6:30, the rides are only within town, like city limits.
Right. They're not going to shove you out somewhere. Well, and that's what I was lobbying for. Even a midnight, for the cab would have been perfect. So we now have what I tried lobbying for back when David was mayor, and he just simply, he said it wasn't feasible. And maybe back then, I don't know, but I just think that, they liked the $1,200 fine or whatever people were assessed when they were pulled over for DUI. So
Oh, yeah.
at least that was my opinion.
That was your opinion.
I can be opinionated sometimes, but I mean, no.
Gotta make money somehow,
Well, I mean, I'm sure the mayor's court probably enjoyed all that money flowing into its coffers.
Yeah.
And why risk
That was your cost of doing business in Wilmington.
Well, my cost of, I can remember a police officer trying to get me to give the keys to a intoxicated young lady that was in her car, and once I would have handed her the keys, he would have cited her for DUI, and she was sitting in our parking lot, and I refused to do that, so they weren't happy with me about that. I don't know why, why would you give someone keys if they were intoxicated? You're a police officer, you should not want someone to, but he wasn't going to let her drive off, but he was going to cite her then. I was trying to get her to just get out of the car, but I had her keys and I kept them, so.
Was that when DHL left? We're just hurting for money, so we're just
That was when
writing
DHL
tickets
left.
left and right.
Yeah, all that was very tough on the city because, we
I'm
had
just kidding, by the way.
Yeah, we had a pretty good business up until that point. But,
Yeah.
So anyway, your newspaper.
Yeah. So back to the paper. If you've seen on social media, the Visitors Bureau and Chamber of Commerce put out applications for their 2025 wrap-up C4 awards. So the C4 awards are just to recognize people in the community over the course of a year. And the celebration is at the Murphy Theater in January, I believe.
Those
right?
are those ones
January
that have those big,
23rd, yeah.
heavy.
Oh yeah.
They look like they were made from car parts or something.
I think the is it Champion Bridge down the street here that makes those?
And that would make sense.
I'm
because they
90%
look like
sure.
some kind of automotive or bridge parts or something like that.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah.
I would love to win one someday. So if anyone out there wants to put my name
Well,
in,
maybe after you've done a successful
After I've done
stint
something
as
good.
mayor, then they will probably.
I don't think after being mayor you get an award. People just want you gone. You know, it's like politics and fish. Like they both go bad. Is what they say.
That's right. Well, I mean,
So-
seriously, and that's the problem. The
No
problem
one's
is you don't win in politics.
You never win. Yeah,
No,
you never
and
win.
that's why those that run for politics, and I would never be one of those. I don't understand why Jerry Bear. I kept telling him, because they were trying to encourage Jerry to run for mayor of New Vienna, and I said, why would you put yourself in that position?
Oh yeah.
You have people calling you at all hours of the day, and they've got your personal phone number.
Yeah.
And they're calling you, because their water isn't running or something's not
Yeah.
working or whatever. Like the mayor's responsible for every little thing that goes on.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want that kind of responsibility. It's enough just.
Well, I don't think anyone does. That's why we need to get with the times and have a city manager.
Well, it still comes back to delegation of authority.
Yeah.
If you're a mayor or if you are a city manager, if you properly delegate authority, then those things can be handled. Because you've got various departments and things like that. Now, the difference with city government versus county government is city government is all appointed by the mayor. The mayor office controls who's the police chief, who's the fire chief, who's the various heads of the department. When you get to the county level, they're all, most of the time, they're voted on by the public, especially when you look at the sheriff, you look at people like that, the people vote. So, a mayor has a different type of responsibility. Now, the city manager, I don't know. That's a question that we could ask because you're the one that's supposedly investigating all that. Does the city manager appoint the police chief in lieu of the mayor if you have a city manager in the city government? Or does the mayor still get to appoint the police chief and the fire chief?
I know that in cities that are charter cities, so there's the option of being a council manager, having a council manager plan where you have city council, then you have the city manager. Or there's also the option to do city council, a mayor, and then an administrator. And in that situation, the mayor has a little bit more, I'm not sure if it's administrative power, but in that situation, they typically control the police department. They appoint the police.
And the fire chief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that the city of Sunbury was that plan in 2020 when they became a charter city. And then just yesterday when they had to revise their charter or revisit their charter to look at it in 5 years, they switched to a council manager because it was just too much for the mayor to have to deal with the police.
And I've seen, or at least heard,
In the past, too. So
some of the existing charter cities with the city managers were talking about changing back to the mayor, type of government. Like for instance,
What are you talking about over there? In
Green-
Greenfield, that's the only example I
Greenfield?
can think of.
No, there's a. Let's see. What was the other city that I just heard of?
Oh, it's up in Cleveland?
No, this one was like here close. I know. They were talking about it up in Washington Courthouse, going back to a mayor.
I don't. Okay, so we're gonna have a council member from Courthouse come to our charter meeting next week, and I don't think that's
So
a
maybe
thing.
we can ask
I
questions.
think I asked him that question, and that's a rumor.
So it's just rumor?
I'm pretty sure.
Who do you think's circulating that kind of rumor? Would it be like
Who
mayor?
would circulate rumors in Wilmington? Who would do that?
Yeah, I don't
Who would
know.
do such
Well,
things?
that's why you're here, and
Yeah.
we have this forum so that we can straighten out all those questions that aren't true, right?
Yeah.
Those
Can you look up
false information.
on the Wilmington Charter Facebook page
Yeah.
and see? We posted an article about a city going from a city manager to a mayor, but it was in the Cleveland area. It was a really big city.
Could you
Maybe Cleveland Heights. I think Cleveland Heights.
Could you go from a city manager to a mayor, but still retain a city charter? Be a charter.
Yeah. So you can have a strong mayor in a charter city. South Lebanon does that,
Okay.
but they're also a lot smaller. So I think when you get to our size of a city, it makes the most sense to have a city manager.
Yeah. Well, I think the city manager makes sense. At least that's my opinion. And so,
That's your opinion to my face, anyways.
Yeah, well, no.
I'm just kidding.
As far as, Pat Haley is a friend of mine, and that doesn't, that changes nothing. But, my interest, at the city level as far as city management is the city.
Yeah, can I see this real quick? Okay, so let's see. So, yeah, Cleveland Heights recently switched from a city manager to a strong mayor. I think they're a very democratic city. And then the first,
Blue?
yeah, very blue city.
Okay.
Yeah, Democrat, not Democratic.
Well, Northeast Ohio is typically very blue.
But
Sherrod Brown was popular up there for a long time.
the funny thing about it is that the first mayor that they put in, Khalil Shireen, was what's it called when you kicked out? Like
Impeached?
yeah, impeached or like the
Recalled?
Recalled. It was recalled. So the first actual mayor they had after their city manager was recalled. So it's just, I think when you get that system, it's so political and it distracts from like getting the job done. Like we got to pave the streets and have clean water and sewage, and it shouldn't be so political.
It shouldn't, but, everything is politics, even sewage.
Yeah, that's true. Everything is, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I think that as far as Wilmington goes, we have our problems, but I think that all in all, I think that the buses are running, things, and I think that they're doing a good job over there at the transportation department.
Yeah.
Now, did we establish, because we also were talking off air about this, did we establish as to whether or not it is legal for a person to come in and operate a taxi cab?
I still haven't found that yet.
And the key would be, they would probably suggest that you cannot operate any kind of a for-hire vehicle like that unless it's licensed through the city of Wilmington. And that could be the key. The key is we won't license anyone that wants to run a cab service. The only cab service is, and part of that is because they get federal funding and grant money to operate our transportation. So I think that's what their excuse is.
Have you had Jonathan McKay speak on this?
No, because Jonathan's like Joe Davis. If we brought him in here, we'd be talking the next week.
He is a talker, yeah.
He could actually maybe write a statement and send it.
I mean, he spoke at Cape May and he got it to an hour, so
Did he? Well,
he can do it.
Jonathan's more than welcome to come in anytime
Yeah,
and talk to us.
he'd be
about
the person to talk to about it
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, because obviously that has come up more than once that you've been here about.
I think it's a rumor, but I would ask Jonathan McKay.
Well, why don't we have taxi service then? Because if you look at like Washington Courthouse, they've got a couple different taxi services. I'm sure there's some strapping young business person, female or male, that would want to operate a taxi company in Wilmington, but why don't they? Well, I think because they can't. I don't think that you can operate legitimately a taxi service. Now, Uber's a little different, and Lyft, I think they operate differently.
But there's also like, why isn't there
because they're technically employees of themselves. So that's, I think, how they get away around doing that. Although does anyone operate Lyft or Uber here in Wilmington?
I know that there's some people who drive that, but I don't know if it's in city limits or not.
Yeah, I
don't know.
think they probably work like, in southern Columbus or down in Cincinnati or whatever, but they drive from here, but they don't actually operate within the confines of Clinton County. There's just not enough business here.
Yeah. So anyways, the C4 Awards, if you know anybody, what are the categories, Molly? Does it say it in the paper somewhere?
Yeah, healthcare, education, business, nonprofit, youth, which is under 18, which apparently they struggle with nominees for that one. So if you know anyone under 18.
Not enough young people?
Uh-huh.
I'm always looking for young people to
I know you are.
Yeah.
And then public service or government and citizen.
What about talk show hosts?
Uh-huh.
There should be a category for that.
Yeah.
It'd just be like the ESPYs or something.
I did nominate some people, so everyone should nominate people.
Already?
Yeah, I did.
Dang.
I won't say who it is, but hopefully you win. It's not you. I mean, I could. Not that you don't deserve it.
No,
I'm just saying.
no, I'm okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not saying not that she doesn't
my
deserve it. She would deserve it for sure, but she also lives in Warren County, in Blanchester, Clarksville, so just outside the border. So she can't win anyways. And if you
Yeah.
did win, I would stand up and protest.
Okay.
You would expose the fact
I would
that
ex-
she
I
does
would
not
ex- fraud.
reside in Clinton County.
Fraud. Yeah.
So is that just a Clinton County thing then?
Well, yeah, it's the
I actually think
C4, so
I think
Clinton
you can
County
be-
Community. Is it in here?
yeah, but I think you can be nominated if you work. I think you have to live or work in Clinton County.
Clinton County Community Champion. 4 C's. C4.
Yeah.
Is
Nominees.
champion for the bridge company?
Oh, maybe
Is it?
it's
I
like an
don't
Easter
know.
egg, you
I
know?
have no idea.
Easter egg? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
like a
like-
subtle thing.
Like it was actually because they're champions, but also maybe an Easter egg that it's
Right.
like.
I think they just like the 4 C's, to be
So
honest.
you're saying, Molly, that you believe that individuals that are nominated could actually live outside of Clinton County, but as long as they work in Clinton County, which would make sense to me, you shouldn't have to be a resident. You could be nominated and win the award if you're doing good work in Clinton County, right?
You'd have to ask Susan Valentine and Jesse
It
Rogers.
says.
What?
Live or work in Clinton
Oh,
County.
then
so
you
I
can
think
ask
you
Molly.
can.
Here you go. Ask Molly. She just answered it. Ask and answer. So you
Yeah.
can be nominated.
That's what they
Well,
told
that
me.
makes sense.
Yeah, guess
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's not just people born and raised here. Anybody can
That's right.
win.
Yeah. You don't have to be native.
Yeah. Anything else about the C4 Awards? It's going to have a cool theme this year, so Jukebox Jubilee. I think that means like,
1950s.
yeah, Grease and stuff, right?
Yeah, like poodle
Jukebox.
skirts and
That's what you come dressed as for the
cool
awards.
stuff.
Double knit suits.
Yeah.
What is it?
Double knit. Did you
What
say
is that?
Grease?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Fonzie.
you know, just like Saturday Night Fever and all that, the disco era, is that what we're talking about?
You can ask Charlie if he has any of his black hair grease you can put in your hair.
Who?
Charlie.
Oh. You
Put
mean like in Charlie Murphy?
I think you know who I'm. Yeah. But it should be fun. Last year's theme was prom night in Paris. So I dressed up as Ratatouille. And it was pretty fun. I enjoyed that. So I'll have
Did
to
you go, Mom?
find something this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you wear, so you didn't wear like a tux and you didn't wear like an evening gown or anything like that?
I mean, my female employees just wore nice dresses. I think that this whole awards thing is just so the ladies in the community can dress up, have an excuse.
Jessica, which
They
is
just-
also, we've already talked about it. We've been looking on Amazon for what we're going to wear.
Right? Well, I know
Yeah.
that the hospital has a big gala, every year. Now, I don't know whether they still are going to do that, but I can remember we had just opened next door at Samuel Walker's, and they had the gala that night, and everybody decided they were coming from the gala to our nightclub that night. So we had women in these gowns, and it sort of added a lot to our opening night as far as the nightclub. Propelled us to new heights. All right, what next?
You were talking about galas, and I remembered that I signed up for the Habitat annual gala thing, and didn't know what day it was. It's in 2 weeks, because anyone wants to know. Habitat for Humanity in Clinton County. Well, next is inside. We taking a break first, or we're gonna keep going?
We'll take a break in 4 minutes. It's all right. Tough it out.
All right, so real quick, if anyone knows Tom Dreyer, he used to be the business development director at Ohio Living Cape May. Great guy. He was on the board for a couple things. Probably one of them was the Chamber of Commerce, which he might still be.
Yeah, I think he's still on the board for the Chamber of Commerce.
He has a new position, so he is now working for the National Christian Foundation. And let me think of the best way to describe this. It helps people amplify their giving. So instead of just being able to give monetarily, leaving monetary donations to charities that you choose, you can gift assets that you have. And they'll help you, I guess, monetize those and give to your charity of choice.
So if like you wanted to leave an estate, or you
Yeah.
wanted to leave a car, or you wanted to leave anything else of value besides just cash money, it gives you a way to be able to do that. He helps with that.
Yeah, I think there's some tax advantages and stuff as part of it. I was gonna ask Molly what else we could say about it, but I think do you understand a little bit more than I do?
I'm not a math brain type of person, so I wouldn't say that I fully understand it, but Yeah, I don't know. I would say I think that sums it up.
Yeah, I know he's working with a lot of local organizations to just bring awareness and help people to give, especially those who have faith-based passions. So,
And you can give while you're still living too, so
Well,
it's
that's
not
nice.
just like
It's good that you don't have to be dead in order to give. Aaron Hubble,
Hello.
he's a big Blue Lions fan, and the Blue Lions will be playing this Friday in the playoffs. And also the Miami Trace Panthers will be playing this Friday at Jackson, and we'll have that on Campus Nation, just to put a shameless plug in there. But all right, take that down, put that back up. What were we talking about?
we were talking about the National Christian Foundation.
So, have you given anything like that?
Have I given to anything like that? I wasn't aware this organization existed until
Oh,
Tom.
That's why you haven't given yet, right?
Exactly why, yeah.
Well, you could leave like your big pickup truck, something like that.
Yeah. He was explaining how people give. So, like, this lady owned multiple homes, and she was able to deed one of them to the foundation so that she got the tax write-off for selling this home to them. And then she could also choose where the money went to charity-wise. So she got a tax write-off, and then she also
Plus,
got to
there
choose.
was some direction as to how that would be spent. Or
Yeah,
how,
like she actually chose the charity that money goes to. And then the foundation just facilitates that.
I was gonna say it seemed like that was like the point almost, is that you also get these tax benefits, but then you have like a choice as long as you're like not, because it's like a faith-based organization, so as long as you're not like donating money to something that like doesn't align with that, I think it sounds like you have a choice where it goes to.
I assume these are all nonprofits that you're giving to so that you get that tax write-off.
Well, that you're giving to the foundation.
So the foundation directly then distributes those
Yeah.
funds to who, but they also distribute to who you want the funds dispersed to.
Yeah.
So you've got a little bit of control over where it goes. You're not just blindly giving
Yeah.
funds or assets to someone that might be using it for some other nefarious purpose, right?
Yeah. And I'm not 100% sure on how the Clinton County Foundation works, but I assume it's the same way where donors can choose where their money is spent. There's multiple things that the Clinton County Foundation supports.
Does the Clinton County Foundation, are they involved with the money that was from the sale of the hospital?
I believe
first time
so.
around? 'Cause
Either that or
they're still operating on money from the original sale. Now, how many times has the hospital been has changed hands? Because now we're in another.
yeah, I believe so. But it's also the isn't like their Health Alliance of Clinton County or something. They might be the ones managing that, but that might also be under the Clinton County Foundation.
It is. The Health Alliance is under the Clinton County Foundation because I guess they have to have like the way that they explained it to me is they have to have an umbrella. So when like Clinton Memorial Hospital became like, they used to be a nonprofit hospital, and then
It was owned by the county. It was owned by Clinton County originally.
and that's when the Health Alliance was under them, and then when it changed, they had to find someone else to be under, which was the Clinton County Foundation, and now TriHealth is a nonprofit, I think.
Are they?
That's what the woman I spoke to told me,
Well,
is
that
that
would be
now
interesting to find out. TriHealth, and it's some. Well, that means that they should give you all your medical attention and health care for free.
I think the Clinton County Clinton County Economic Alliance meeting is at TriHealth tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So if anyone wants to learn about TriHealth, tomorrow at 8 o'clock at the TriHealth building.
Well, Michelle Thibault, who watches frequently, but she's just recently undergone the second of surgeries. She's a nurse at Clinton Memorial. She could probably give us some insight into that. Maybe I'll ask her, have her come in and talk to us about it once she is up and running better.
You could ask the CEO to come in and speak.
That's true.
Tom.
And I'm trying to think who's actually talked with CEO before. Maybe that was Jerry, but he had expressed some interest in coming on the show and talking to. And we're sort of right now, we're in that transition of what we're going to be doing in the future and how we've been set up and operated in the past. And now that we're adding Washington Courthouse as another show, we're trying to figure out how these two shows are going to either work together or because initially it was going to be that they were both going to simulcast. They were going to both happen at the same time. And I think that just based on the fact that it's not practical, particularly, it's important that I'm available for each show. Not that I'm that important, but what I'm saying is, as far as from an engineering standpoint and some of the technical aspects, it's probably just as well if we do a morning here and an evening there, because then I can be available for both times. And then we have to now figure out how it won't interfere with our Campus Nation broadcasts, which are sports and that. We got so many things going on that's.
You could take the Newsstrom route and just do a combined thing.
I've thought about
Southwest
that.
Ohio.
I've thought about that, but I don't know that the problem with that would be, where would they come in? You'd have to bring them into a central location, or we'd have to bring them in remotely. We have that capability, but see, all that's even changing, because the software that we're using, that we use for this production, we're going to go more to a hardware solution here in the near future. We've got some new equipment that we're looking at that gives us a lot more capabilities, even more than we've got now. Mm-hmm. It's going to eliminate some things, so it'll be a combination of audio and video in one unit rather than having a separate soundboard, and you'll still have microphones and things like that. But so there's, we're constantly innovating and looking at better ways to bring this program and also to do our sports broadcasting. So that's what we're in the process of looking. And maybe once we get that all chosen and figured out, we'll know just how we present the morning show. But right now, as it stands, it's probably going to be better for us to do a morning and an evening. That seems to be at least the preference. And it'll be good for Vinyl Coffee too. I know they're going to have a jazz night one of those nights too, so maybe we'll get some jazz people in on the program.
We went to Vinyl a few weeks ago. It was really nice, super nice.
It is nice, and they're now open till 9 o'clock.
Okay.
They did their
That's awesome.
hard opening on November the 1st. Vinyl is going to be open till 9 o'clock, Monday through Saturday, and that'll keep the kitchen open till 9 o'clock as well, so people will be able to go in and order.
You say kitchen, they just have pastries, right?
Anything. I don't know the extent of the kitchen, to be honest with you. I know the pastries that I saw look fantastic. And Branson, who is the owner and operator, he has a roastery. We went through that this past week. It's in a different building, little ways down the street from where Vinyl is actually located. And that's going to move within the next 6 months as well to an even newer building. But he's got a complete roasting operation, huge roaster, and he's roasting his own coffee. I think a lot of coffee shops that are really trying to push this state-of-the-art type of situation want to roast their own coffee and be in control of how that process goes. And Vinyl is the same way. I wasn't aware.
I keep hearing that like Starbucks is like closing left and right, so the industry must be changing to prefer local coffee places.
And I think that a lot of it has to do, and once again, we're seeing young people finally having more of an impact on a lot of things. And I think young people, they want to eat healthier. So, food choices are changing. A lot of the stuff that maybe the government's eliminating in foods is because young people are, saying, we want to go this direction. We don't want all the dyes and all the additives.
Yeah.
And which is good. It's good for everybody. But I think that, young people are becoming a lot more influential in everything from politics to, discussion. And they should be.
Yeah.
There's too many old white men that are running everything.
Yeah.
But we'll take a break on that before they impeach me here.
Yeah.
We will come back and we'll talk something new.
Sounds good.
All right.
Recently unearthed documents dating back to 40 BC confirm Noah's Ark really did wash up in northern Kentucky.
Complete with a gift shop and concessions.
And still no mention of unicorns.
Yet the same document shows how you can earn a handsome income mailing envelopes from the comfort of your own hut.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Helpful, hopeful, made-up stories like these and what's coming to the Murphy Theater on your weekly edition of The Murphy Report.
The Murphy Report. Find us at themurphytheater.org or the Murphy Theater YouTube channel.
A new Murphy Report drops every Monday morning.
That's not the only thing that drops first thing Monday mornings, Amanda.
When you have to know, count on your one source for useless, made-up news. The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us. How a basket full of newborn kitties steered a 20-ton luxury cruise liner to safety.
saving more than just 9 lives.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Feel-good stories that we make up just for you every Monday morning.
One would say it's a perfect way to start the week.
Why would anyone say that, Steve?
No idea.
These stories and the latest on what's coming to the Murphy Theater on The Murphy Report.
Hey Amanda, what's the first thing a kitty says when it's being held at gunpoint?
I give up.
Exactly. The Murphy Report. If it's news to you,
It's
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization event or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com. Or give us a call at 740-335-6481 and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
Mics are on. We are back. We won't talk about what we talked off Gary there. That's one of those secret things. Yeah, we get to have our own secrets.
All right, welcome back. So I'm again Dustin Pierce. This is Molly Campbell with Real Change Wilmington. Rick forced us to host today, so
Oh, I forced you. I twisted
yeah, we
your
came
arm.
in. There was no one else here, so we thought, oh dang, here we go.
Yeah.
But we're talking about our November newspaper for Real Change Wilmington. It's in mailboxes and also at local businesses and our newsstands. And this month we have free Wilmington Pride stickers, better together since 1810. So grab those around our newsstands as well. We'll be talking about a few things in our paper. And the next thing we're going to discuss is Wilmington High School 2025 Fall Sports Recap. So we've been asked multiple times to discuss sports in our paper, but have had no
Well, who's
expertise.
asked that?
Yeah, exactly. Everybody.
Who's asked that?
All the old folks.
All the old folks.
Yeah, especially, I mean, that's who we talk to is older folks. So
Well, older folks, they tend to have their sons and daughters and
yeah,
their
it's
grandkids.
it's a good thing.
Yeah, so.
Not just for like sports stats, but they want to see their
Sports
kids.
brings everybody together.
Yeah.
Male, female, young, old. Yeah.
But I guess we just haven't figured out a way to best do that because we have a monthly paper. We can't like cover every
Exactly.
week of sports that happens.
Right.
So we kind of eventually figured out that we could just do a recap for the season.
Sure.
So who we talked to at the schools?
Troy Deals. the
Troy
athletic
Deals.
director.
He's the athletic director at Wilmington High School. Great guy.
Yeah.
He has 3 daughters.
Yeah.
Excuse me. 2 of them are still in high school. One of them is in college. I think she goes to Walsh up north, and that's Caroline. And I think she plays volleyball. I think that's her big sport. At least it was for the most part. She played basketball when she was at Wilmington High School. But his middle daughter, she plays softball, and she's softball's I think her main sport. Although she did play volleyball in that. And I don't know about the younger one because I think she's just a freshman.
Okay.
But
So Troy, he actually, going back to what we talked about before, Troy won a C4 award last year, I believe, for his impact to the school. So that was kind of cool. So I knew that about Troy, and I had Molly reach out to him, and he responded about meeting, and it was very like short messages, and she was like, "Oh, is Troy going to be a mean guy?" And I was like, "I don't think so.
he's not mean.
I think he's just like a guy who responds like very directly in emails." And we met him, and yeah, he was super great, super kind, and good guy. Anyways, high school sports recap. So one of the highlights is the boys soccer team. What did they do?
They went undefeated in their regular season for the first time in school history, and then they were league champions for the second time in the last 3 years. So that was a pretty big accomplishment.
Yep. And then we have the other sports breakdowns as well. And I guess winter sports are starting up now, or have already
Yes.
started?
Yeah.
It's winter sports.
Yeah.
Normally, girls basketball starts first, and that'll be about mid-November. In fact, the college, they're having a tournament. Women's team at Wilmington College is playing this weekend, and that'll start their sports schedule. And the men start usually later. The boys, as far as high school, start around December the 1st, as far as basketball. And the other sports, some of them start earlier, but actually, I know because we follow the girls and guys at Miami Trace. They started, I don't know if it was 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago, at 6 a.m. in the morning. They were up for the initial. That was when legally they could actually start practicing.
Oh, wow.
I know the coach, the girls coach at Miami Trace, he had them there at 6 a.m. ready to start practicing.
Yikes.
But he's very intense too, and he's their new coach there.
Are they a good team?
They're going to be, I think, very good.
Yeah.
The boys' team is going to be extraordinary. They were very good last year. They went deep. They went to the district finals, and we covered it on Campus Nation. They lost to a team in the district finals, and I think they'll go further this year. And of course, they've got several seniors, and they've got a new freshman, I think, that's coming in that's supposed to be phenomenal. Why was Santa angry when Rudolph? This is our slash magician, and why was Santa angry when Rudolph trimmed his antlers? He couldn't get the signals for the bank. All right, so much for that. We needed a little break, right?
Yeah,
So, is that the conclusion of our sports recap there at Wilmington?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Check out the paper for more team sports or team stats.
Have you ever covered any Wilmington College sports?
Not yet.
Not yet.
One thing at a time.
well.
We're just getting started.
You're just getting
like a year and a half in.
That's right.
2 years in.
Well, and is there some thought to maybe expanding your newspaper to other newspapers?
Someone mentioned that.
I think that would be good.
Somebody.
And you could
the other
utilize
side
the
of this
same
camera.
incredible writer
Yeah.
for both papers,
Yeah.
because I know she probably just sits around twiddling.
To do that, we need a few more sponsors. We need a few
Well,
more
that's the whole
If
idea
anyone
of
wants to
another
sponsor
market.
our paper.
Another market. You've got more advertisers.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
And-
good for communities to have positive news out there
absolutely.
in
I
full
agree.
color,
Yeah.
directly to mailboxes for free. So it helps communities.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
So what's next on the
The
agenda?
next is that, speaking of transit issues, or not issues, but questions, Jonathan McKay, the current Wilmington Transit System Director, he presented at Ohio Living Cape May a few weeks ago and talked about their new vehicle wraps and also extended hours and some of the services that they do to help people. You got any highlights, Molly?
He did say, which I thought was really interesting, that in the month of August, they transported 12,540 riders, which is roughly equivalent to the population of Wilmington. And Jonathan McKay was kind of like, we transport people that are, have a bunch of money, and we transport people that have $1 to $2 in their bank account. And he just kind of talked about how important it is to have like affordable, accessible transportation. And he shared the story of like a young woman in town who was able to, it helped her, the city transit helped her afford college because she would take it home from her restaurant job. So he just kind of talked about, the logistics, like the prices and the amount of passengers per day and the hours. And then he also talked about like the importance of affordable, accessible transportation.
it's my opinion that Jonathan's been doing a pretty good job. I think our transportation and the hours extensions and all that has been a great improvement. The only thing I would like to see is I think that there's reason to believe that we could actually have a route, maybe just one, an actual established route for the bus, and the buses would run along that route. There would be bus stops, just like in the bigger cities, and that route would cover all the downtown, the city center, and then maybe go out to Walmart but would run that route maybe from the west side of town to the east side of town, however they would map it out, but that the buses would run continuously. Now maybe they'd be 15 minutes apart or 20 minutes apart, but if we had something like that people could actually, because I think the biggest objection that I have to at least the way I see the buses run, and I've never ridden a bus, so I'm only saying this from, what little research I've done, is the fact that sometimes you have to wait quite a while in order to get picked up and be transported. Now I understand the idea because the buses are not technically really buses, they're more like taxis. Because, taxi, you call, they pick you up, they take you a certain location and that. Whereas if we had an actual bus route and the buses operated as buses, not all of them, we could still have, the buses operate the way they do as taxis. But if there was a bus route and they devoted X number of buses to that route, however frequent they would come, I think that would be great for people to know they could just walk out to a bus stop and that it wouldn't have to call or, as far as being picked up and transported. And they could go from one end of town to the other end. Because most people, I think, they're just going to shop, Now, I don't know what
Jonathan did say that, like, the biggest, one of the biggest needs is to Walmart. Like, when he extended the hours later in the day, that they assumed that people would be using it to get to their jobs at the airport. But the reality is that they used it to get groceries at Walmart.
And I think that's probably true. People that actually work at the airport probably provide other transportation in other ways. Either have a friend or they have their own car or whatever. I don't know how. I don't know what.
It was just the assumption from, like, I think a lot of people for a long time that we needed extended transit hours because they would always talk about at the economic meetings in the chamber and the port that we need this transit for the jobs, but they're at least not using them as much as they thought.
Well, and I don't think we have the jobs at the airport that we used to have. That's the other thing, so you're not transporting, a lot of people out there in the first place. But, there always are going to be people that need to go out and shop, or they're going to have to, they're going to pick up groceries.
Sure.
And the extended hours are great because, I don't even know if, is Walmart open to midnight anymore? They probably close at 9 or whatever.
Maybe
I think
11.
It was like 11.
I think it's
yeah.
11,
Well, then that's good because that parallels, essentially what. And
Yeah.
by it being open till midnight, there are those people that might want to go out and imbibe and don't want to drive.
Yeah.
That can still catch a bus or catch transportation. But
Yeah.
if there was an actual bus route within, because let's face it, there's 12,000 people that live within the city of Wilmington. And then there's 30,000 that live in the county of Clinton County. And the one good thing about the bus system is it will go out in the county and pick people up. But as you said, it's reduced, as it gets later in the evening as far as going out in the county. But it was surprising when I lived out on Gurneyville, which is out near the Roberts Center, out that direction.
Yeah.
They actually would have come out and picked up my mother to bring her into the senior center. Had we chosen to do that, and that kind of surprised me that the bus would actually go out that far and pick up. But,
Jonathan did talk about the loop route because I think that was one of the things that he wanted to do was have a loop route, but I guess there was he talked about some restrictions from the state, I believe, with if he has a loop route with our current system, how it's set up, that he has to have a deviated loop route, so it essentially would just be a taxi service because they wouldn't have drop-off spots. They would have to drop you off at your house and then continue on. So maybe it just didn't make any
you're
sense.
saying that there was something as far as the way
There's stipulations, with how our funding and how it's the setup that we
So
couldn't.
it still had to be door to door rather than
I think so,
actually
yeah.
at a bus stop.
You'd have to talk to him about the specifics, but he did mention that there were some hurdles to making that happen.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, once again, that's the same kind of thing that might prohibit
Sure.
someone from actually
But
operating.
that would be a state issue, not a local issue.
Right.
It's not a local issue. It's just
Yeah,
it's
and
a
I don't know that
funding
you
state.
could get that changed unless the legislation was there in place.
I mean, if anyone could work around it, I'm sure it's Jonathan McKay to figure it out. So he was doing a good job.
Yeah.
You said the wait times. He mentioned the wait times being only an issue at the beginning of the month when a lot of people, I think, maybe get their food assistance and then they go to the grocery store. So I know that I have a friend, Bill Lumbacher, who uses the transit a lot. And I picked him up yesterday at Kava House because the wait time was like 2 hours, and because it was the beginning of the month. But I think in general the wait time is pretty quick, or it's maybe 20 minutes. Jonathan said, but just the beginning of the month they have a hard time keeping up. Other than that, he did mention trying to have a card or.
Yeah.
So right now the transit can only accept cash. They can't accept card payment, I guess.
Surprising.
I think when they had the online system, there was a way to upload money electronically, I think, but they went away with that for the moment. I think Jonathan said that eventually it's going to have to come back around, maybe a better system for online booking rides. But anyways, right now it's only cash, and they're either trying to get a way to use credit card or get a card you can fill. And
Like a bus card,
a bus
transit
card, yeah.
card or something like that. So the cost of riding the transit is that seniors, I think they pay what, $1 or $2?
$1, yeah.
Is it?
Yep,
one.
for everyone else it's $2, and then for military seniors or like individuals with developmental disabilities
Which is
it's
incredible
$1.
in today's, financial, to be able to have that kind of service. It's phenomenal. It's almost like free because
Yeah.
you would think today you would have to pay at least $3 or $4 or something like that. But to keep the the $2 and $1 model is fantastic. I
Yeah.
commend them again. Because most of the people that ride transportation are probably not on the wealthier end of the scale. And now it might be that if they're older, seniors, that wealth doesn't have anything to do
Right.
with it. It's just that they can't drive any longer, or for some reason they don't want to drive. But to be able to have the service available and have it at a reasonable cost is great.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that need it to get, like we say, get to the store, get groceries, feed the family, that kind of thing. I think it's probably more personal service than it is actually for even jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that about rounds up the transit, as far as I know.
He gets a gold star from me.
He gets a gold star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they also do the airport transport. They will transport you for a flat rate to the Dayton airport for $50 or the Columbus airport for $100.
And both those prices are probably extremely reasonable compared to if you had Uber or Lyft, come and pick you up.
Well, yeah, because I don't even think you're allowed to probably tip your driver either.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, they can't.
No
They
tips.
can't. So yeah, it's
You mean
really
as far as the
affordable.
Wilmington transit?
Yeah, Wilmington, you
And
can't
that's
tip
probably,
your-
once again, a regulation passed down by the state.
Yeah, for
as
sure.
far as- And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Even though it's the Wilmington transit system, it's still all regulated at the state level.
Well, it's funded by the state level too.
That's right, yeah. These are all grants and things that
Yeah.
come from the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, because they frequently do audit, surprisingly, they do audit transportation systems throughout the state, and Wilmington didn't used to be, but is now one of the better run transit systems in all the state. So it's good that we're saving taxpayers money, but at the same time, we're providing a better level of service, which at least it appears that way.
Yeah. Yep. So the next thing, we have a business highlight. It's kind of a political government issue as well, but there is a new tobacco and vape shop that opened on Ronbeck Avenue between Donato's and Hothead's Burrito. So if you're interested in tobacco or vaping products, there is a new spot for you.
But there's also a moratorium on new.
And yeah, so it's also a governmental issue too, because this opened right around the same time that city council decided to put a freeze on new vaping, I think just vaping businesses. So you can't get like a permit or a
There's no
occupancy
licensing.
certification.
There's no licensing right now. It's suspended.
Yeah.
I don't know what
You can't change your business to that. Yeah.
Our magician says that for $35 a month, you get unlimited rides. Now, what's the FRS? Do we know what that means?
FRS.
Yeah, he's got FRS. I'll put this up on the board. FRS is 30. So what's FRS? Is 35 a month for unlimited rides. I don't know what FRS
I'm not
stands
sure.
for. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm sure we could.
You'll have to enlighten us.
It might be an abbreviation for like another city's transit department.
I don't know.
I don't know.
This says Federal Reserve System. That doesn't make
Federal
sense.
Reserve System doesn't have anything to do with transportation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to explain a little bit.
Yeah, he'll clarify.
So, yeah, definitely vape shops are a highly debated topic in Wilmington.
They're all over the place. It's like convenience stores used to be. It's like they pop up all over the place. And I think that there is some concern that a lot of the vape shops, if you look deeper into their backgrounds and the people that operate them, and I'm not saying all vape shops, but there's a lot of shenanigans that go on, money laundering, and that a lot of these have opened, and that's why there's so many of them, is because they're doing other things in order to operate these shops. So I think there was some concern there as far as.
I think that was true of another vape shop that tried to open in town on Locust Street.
I think that was the one where we used to have a
vacuum cleaner
repair.
Yeah.
And they said that particular operator, first of all, they did everything without permits. I guess
that was an issue. Yeah, I remember.
That was the first thing.
I lived across from that building. I remember when they put their sign up, and I thought that sign looks a little bit too big for that building. And yeah, they didn't get any permits, I guess, to do any of that work, so they were shut down by the city.
He clarifies that it runs out of Claremont County to the Columbus area.
Okay.
That's quite a transportation system. Yeah. So and I don't know what is the condition of the building there across from the pizza place where they are going to put the vape shop. Is it just frozen in time, or I mean, have they gone forward or backward?
I'm not sure if the building was sold to that company or.
Well, they actually were doing a lot of work in there originally when they.
It was the size of a shed though too, so.
Yeah, it's not a big building.
And it's like built. It's built over the creek. Like the creek runs under the building, which is like crazy.
And not only that, but it wasn't that long ago that right there where the florist was, that part of the creek, the cover over the creek collapsed.
Oh,
they
really?
Had this huge hole
really?
in front of and so people don't realize it, but there is a creek that has been covered over, not filled in, but covered over. It's still a creek, but it runs underneath the city of Wilmington, and it runs out towards Buckley's, and so it's there's several places that creek is underground, and you just don't realize it's there. But it's sort of like I don't know what the infrastructure is that protects it.
Holding it up.
I think some of it has failed over the years, and they've had to shore it up. You suddenly have a sinkhole in the front of your building or whatever.
Yeah, I don't understand how that building was a good idea being built over. It's like literally you can look under. It's not like it's covered under it. It's like the creek is exposed under the building. So I feel like at some point the city's gonna have the county gotta buy that property and demolish it or something.
And just leave it as an open.
Sell it to the land bank or I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good idea. Well, it's not a practical building either. It's just so small,
Really, a vape shop's about all you could run in there. I mean, what else you can run in there,
Right. So I don't know. But anyways, new vape shop. Also, no more new vape shops. This business got their permits in before the moratorium went in place.
And I think the moratorium's for a year, isn't it?
Yeah, just for a year.
Yeah.
So that's that. And then on our back of our paper, again, we're talking about Real Change Wilmington, the newspaper. It's around town for free. We have a success story from someone who I think was experiencing homelessness. If you're not familiar with the Clinton County Homeless Coalition, they started back in 2020, I believe.
2021, I think.
2021, and it was a partnership between the Clinton County Homeless Shelter and a lot of service providers got together, and we're trying to figure out how to tackle the issue of homelessness in Wilmington. So it recently became its own 501(c), and they have a newsletter where they share families' success stories. Do you have highlights from her?
Yeah. She basically dealt with like domestic violence, homelessness. She lost her husband, and it basically just went through a lot of like really painful stuff. She also lost contact with her daughter, and so she felt super isolated and I think experienced homelessness. And then eventually she found her faith, and she credits that as taking her out of like this rough time. And now she's in a new relationship, a new healthy relationship. She has support of her family and friends. She has a home. I believe she's in contact with her family and building good relationships there. And basically this success story just says that she's an inspiration to others, because she dealt with all these difficult challenges, and then she found, her faith, and she completely changed her life.
Something cool about the Homeless Coalition is that they do other things as well, like organize a school supply drive once a year. They're currently helping a local veteran to get his home back. And their board is made up of local business owners. There's also law enforcement that's on their board, local law enforcement, and then other community members that make up their board to help tackle homelessness in Wilmington. So anyone who wants to help get involved, I think, can reach out on their Facebook page, the Clinton County Homelessness Coalition. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the pet too? Do you want me to talk
Oh,
about
did you know? So every month we highlight a pet for adoption. Did you see that the dog got
Yeah,
adopted?
I did see that.
Yeah, go ahead.
There was a 9-year-old German Shepherd. I have a German Shepherd mix at home, so I'm a sucker for German Shepherds. And there was a 9-year-old German Shepherd at Paul's. So last year, around this time when I started Real Change, 9-year-old German Shepherd. And it made me very sad that he was, like potentially going to die in a shelter. Like, you don't want that, And then he got adopted, and I was like, okay, great. And then this year he was back at Paul's. So like, not a great situation, but they left a comment. We posted, I think his name was Brody. We posted him on our Facebook, and Paul's commented and said that he found his forever home. So that's really exciting. And this month we featured a cat named Odessa. She's a young tabby, and she likes, the typical cat things, and she wants someone she needs someone who will be home a lot, because she needs attention. But so that's our pet of the month this month.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll get her adopted.
Yeah.
I miss my shepherd too. I lost her in the divorce.
Yeah.
She was mine to begin with.
Oh man.
Anyway, no, my ex-wife, she was a rescue dog, but she also she must have been a police dog, not a police dog, but she had some kind of specific training, because we also converted her, or got her approved as a what's the name of the dog that
Service dog.
Yeah, service
Yeah.
dog. And so she was officially a service dog, but because my ex-wife had epilepsy, and so anyway, so I let her have her baby. Went in the divorce to the ex-wife, but which she could use her a lot more than I could. But I still miss her.
If the other old guys were here, they'd probably dog you about which ex you talking about, or which.
Well, we'll let the young guy dog me. Anyway, this was my young wife.
Oh my gosh.
That was 40 years younger than me.
Okay. Your trophy wife.
The last wife, wife number 4.
Okay.
We were
Fourth
together
time
for
is-
5 years, so that I'm. But anyway, Sydney was, and she still is, I'm assuming. But I've not. The last time she showed me some pictures of Paisley, which was the name of the dog, running on the beach in. They had, I think, her and her new husband have a condo or something on the beach in the Virgin Isles.
Okay.
So Paisley was running along the beach. They also live in Oklahoma part of the time. So anyway, they're kind of back and forth between the two. So Paisley gets a lot of writing on the on planes.
Mm.
But anyway,
Yeah,
she's living the dog's life, the good life.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When I saw that Brody was adopted, I think I was more happy for Molly than for the dog.
Because
I know
Molly was so wrapped up in it.
Molly was so wrapped
I
up in
was
it.
sad
She was
about it.
about to adopt it herself and
Oh my gosh,
make her
yeah.
family freak out.
Oh, my family would have killed me.
Well, I thought your boyfriend only wanted you to have one pet.
No. So currently I have 2 dogs,
Oh,
and
so 2 is the max.
he's not happy about the second one.
Oh.
But
He's allergic to dogs, right?
yeah,
He's allergic?
Well, he's allergic to so he has a dog, but she's hypoallergenic. So he's not
How does
allergic.
a dog become hypoallergenic?
It's like one of those
Yeah,
like
some breeds.
poodle mixes. It's
They
like
just don't.
yeah, they don't
They've been bred
shed.
that way.
Yeah, they don't shed as much, and they don't really I don't know. I guess it's like all in the shedding. Really, they just don't shed as much. But my dogs, I mean, you would know if you had like a German
Yes.
Shepherd. She sheds,
She does.
and so he doesn't love that part. But he's I think fonder of her than my other
Oh,
dog.
really? Well, that's.
But
Yeah.
a third dog would push my
So you
entire
have 3
family
dogs?
over the edge. No, that's his dog. So he has a hypoallergenic dog at his house, and
Oh,
then I have 2 non-hypoallergenic dogs at my house.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll have to get me one of those. No, I'm not allowed to have animals at the condo, so I guess I won't have any pets. Maybe a goldfish or something that would be allowed. No, but in all honesty, this dog was probably the best dog that I had, best dog that I'd ever had in my life. She was so well behaved. Didn't have to worry about accidents or anything else. She was completely, and she would occasionally spring into action. You'd see her. She actually went over and laid on someone that was having some distress, so there was some training in her background, but we didn't know that until after. Well, like I said, I had her first. A friend of mine had rescued the dog, and then I took her from him. And after I had the 4th wife, she took her from me.
Dang.
And the rest is history, as they say.
Guess the dog's doing well, I guess. Living its best
For
life
all
on the
intents and
beach.
purposes, now I've not talked with my ex-wife for a few years, so but I do occasionally. I'll see there'll be a post or something, and like I said, I know that she flies to the island
Yeah.
with them occasionally, so she'll spend whatever time they're there running up and down the beaches or whatever. So. Well, we'll take a break.
Yeah, perfect.
After I shed a tear over my dog, and we will be back after a brief message.
All right, sounds good.
A medical breakthrough everyone saw coming.
Self-service examining room.
When you absolutely can't wait 6 hours in the ER to be seen for that bone sticking through your leg.
Ouch, get me a bandage.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
News coverage you won't find on other theaters' websites or YouTube channels. Why is that, Steve?
Because they have better things to do, Amanda.
Indeed. Stories like these and what's coming to the Murphy, Ohio's hometown theater, only on The Murphy Report.
You know, Amanda, I used to work in the emergency room.
I had no idea. Did you save a lot of lives?
More like shaved a lot of thighs.
Why'd you quit?
Well, I was let go.
Did you cut someone?
I was just the custodian.
The Murphy Report, a new report brought to you every Monday morning.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us. With the presidential campaign heating up, worries surround first-time voters who are being rushed from the polling station before they can even mark their ballots.
whoa, Nelly, it's a premature evacuation, an election where no one is really the wiener. the winner.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Stories we make up just for you, and the latest on what's coming to the Murphy Theater only on The Murphy Report.
Find us on the Murphy Theater website or our very own YouTube channel.
Steve, have you already made your choice on who you're voting for?
Yes, I have. I've already mailed in my ballot.
I imagine you mail it in a lot, Steve.
Vote early and often. That's my motto.
The Murphy Report. A new report every Monday morning.
And remember, if it's news to you,
because, you know, we can bring people in remotely. There's all kinds of stuff that this software does. We've just never used it. I did a trick where I sawed my sister-in-law in half, and it went wrong. Now she's my half-sister. Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That was better than the Rudolph one. I like that one. I like that one. All right, welcome back to Wake Up Wilmington. I'm Dustin Pierce, and this is Molly Campbell. We are with Real Change Wilmington. We're talking about our November newspaper that came out, free in mailboxes, and also around town, Kroger, Fiesta, Cruise, Sam's Meats, UDF. A lot of local businesses have our paper. You can find some positive, constructive, and lighthearted local news. You can also grab one of our free Wilmington stickers around town for your bumper that says Better Together Since 1810. We're wrapping up our discussions on our newspaper, and now we're going to talk about other city things. So some fun news from city planning last night, public meeting, so I can talk about this. One of the things is that we're getting a new tractor repair shop right north of Walmart. So it sounds like it's not going to be a tractor supply, but more like a tractor repair. So like bigger scale.
When you say north of Walmart,
there was a property between Walmart and the bypass, an old farm covered with weeds, and someone purchased that property and it's turning into a tractor repair.
so was there a building on it that they're going to raise, or was it just a blank piece of property?
I believe that there was a property on it because I think it was a residential farm at one point they discussed, having like a water basin, whatever you call those, like a retention something or another.
Well, there's a
Or
retention
sewer,
pond
or not sewer,
behind
but
Walmart.
it's not the
So
huge
it's not
one.
the same one?
Well, I'm not sure exactly.
And then when they built the bypass, they have to scoop out
Yeah.
dirt, and so there's a retention pond a couple places around
Right.
the bypass as well.
They were discussing at the planning meeting where the entrance would be for the building because they couldn't encroach on the turn lane to the bypass.
Right.
So I think they're using the existing road that went into the property. But
So is that on the same side as Adventure Golf or the little golf center there?
no, it's on the side of where like it's on the same
It's
left
on the
or
same
right.
Walmart side?
But it's on the Walmart side of the bypass.
Okay.
Yeah. You probably wouldn't notice it unless you like really looked when you drove past that there's a house covered in weeds and property back there. So.
And has anyone been asking you, of course, I don't know why they would ask you, but I get a lot of questions about how Wawa is coming.
Oh, yeah.
And how they're coming along with it.
Yeah.
And they were talking, someone was asking about the new Waffle House.
Yeah.
And that, of course, they've actually started erecting walls.
Yeah.
Just a heads up here, the new manager of that Waffle House is also the existing and new mayor of Sabina, as East Clinton, or Sabina's mayor. She's going to be mayor and be the manager of the Waffle House. Now, I don't know how she does that.
That's so weird. What does she do now?
Well, she's mayor of Wilmington.
I mean,
I don't know if she does anything now. She has a
That's crazy.
restaurant background
Yeah.
because there was a restaurant in downtown Sabina that closed.
Okay.
And as a result of it closing, I think, and she was at the time she was on city council. She was on the council, well, not city.
Was it the
council.
diner, the old-timey diner?
The diner right in Dead Center in town, and it had been open for eons.
Yeah.
And it was very good. And in fact, I saw some. There's a group called Sabina 411 that discusses anything and everything Sabina, and maybe some things that aren't Sabina. But that's where I had found that there's a couple people that might be interested in purchasing the property and reopening that diner because it was a staple in downtown Sabina. It was probably one of the only businesses. And of course, Subway closed.
Did it?
The Subway has not been operating.
I think a lot of Subways are closing.
Well, it might be, but you've got, And I saw we're talking about closing businesses. The Family Farm and Fleet in Hillsborough was closing. So I hope that's not one of many, because they've got one in Washington Courthouse that seems to be doing real well. A lot of problems that some of these businesses that are closing, it's not for lack of business. It's because it's for lack of employees. They cannot get enough people to work at them, at the various businesses and that, so they're closing. And of course, TJ Maxx from Destination Outlets is going to be moving into Wilmington the first of the year.
TJ Maxx in Wilmington?
They're relocating to Wilmington. Are you a TJ Maxx girl?
TJ Maxx, Marshalls, all the Five Below. It's like, I like to piddle, like Jessica said.
Well, you can piddle because
girls love TJ Maxx.
The new TJ
They love
Maxx
it.
location is where, what was it? It's not Beals. What was the other, where the clothing store was there?
Yeah. Was it? Yeah, it's not Beals.
Oh, was it Big Lots? Is that what?
It's next to Big Lots, but I don't know what the place
It's
was.
next to the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
It's on the-
Like a P
It's next to
something?
where the old
People's?
Meineke muffler or whatever the muffler
maybe,
shop
yeah.
is. It's at the end
That's
of
close,
that
too.
strip, of a shopping strip.
Yeah.
And they've been in there remodeling, and that will
It's gonna be
open-
nice, yeah.
That'll be opening in January.
Yeah.
Originally, we thought they were building an actual new building out by where they're putting Wawa on the, and that's the other thing. We've been told there's going to be a quick stop, which one just opened up there where Destination Outlets is, and I was there just to see, check it out. I needed gas too, but anyway, that's a pretty nice
Quick
operation.
Stop or
Quick Stop is sort of like a where they're located.
you mean
they're-
Sheets?
It's like a Sheetz,
Okay.
but it's the second. It's the Octa exit, right there at Octa, where Destination Outlets. If
Yeah.
you come off the ramp going south, coming towards Wilmington, it's on the right. It's next to Love's, where the Love's.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
there was supposed to be another truck stop across the street from that, but I think they're not coming anymore. So I don't know. There's an awful lot of truck stops
I
being
know.
built. So I don't know what. But the sort of the Sheetz quick stop concept. They've got food. Sheetz has pretty decent food if you just want something quick to grab. And you can you got a kiosk you can order from, and
Yeah.
makes it really easy, and they're fast. And it's not bad, for fast food, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's better than McDonald's.
Okay.
So maybe it's a step up from that. Now, Quick Stop, I don't know. I didn't have any of their food in that.
Okay.
But that seems to be the trend in the gas station convenience store type of thing that's coming. Now, Wawa's a whole nother animal because they've got, their food is, cut above as far as especially their subs and things like that. And they're primarily in the South, although, we've got hopefully this first one opening in Wilmington. And where it's supposed to be is across from B-Dubs. They've cleared off the property. They've actually put concrete down to get into the lot, but right now it's just a vacant dirt lot. And nothing has been done since then. So
Yeah,
and
I don't
it's been a
know.
couple months. So I don't know. They originally were going to put it on the interstate, and why they brought it into town, I don't know, because Wawa's not really that kind of a, it's more of a truck stop type interstate operation. And for them to locate it in downtown Wilmington was kind of a surprise. But now maybe that's changed. I don't know. But at least the Waffle House is coming to fruition.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because they're
Yeah.
24/7, right?
That's right,
I love-
24/7.
yeah.
And Danielle from Sabina, the mayor of Sabina, will also be the manager of that Wawa. Or that,
I feel like the
yeah.
Waffle House could be a good hangout place, for like.
Sure. Who would hang out? Are you going to be there hanging out there, Dustin?
I'm just saying, like, there's nothing open super late. So if it's late and you're like wanting to do something,
Well,
like,
and
go to
there
Waffle
are
House.
people still that work third shift. There are people that
Yeah.
work, overnight, and they
Yeah.
need a place to hang out like anyone else.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a Wake Up Wilmington like at 3:00 in the morning. You guys up for that?
No.
No?
Molly's definitely not up for
I
that.
no, unless I stay
She
awake.
struggles, yeah.
Like unless I don't sleep the night before.
Other news from city planning, I said talked with the Tractor Supply. Apparently, they finalized some plans for some housing on Nelson Road. Nelson and that land has a for sale sign there. I think she means
Well,
the Waffle House.
She's talking about the Wawa location that they cleared off. And Joanne, I think that
Well, there's still a
because
sign for sale at the Waffle House too.
someone else told me that there was a sign but it's next to that lot. It's not actually that lot that's for sale. But I think Larry Roberts owns most of that property. So if you wanted to find out for sure, Larry would probably be able to tell you what is available and what isn't. Not that I plan on building anything out there anytime soon. Maybe a new nightclub or whatever for Wilmington.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we can handle it.
So I believe it's a 21 unit complex being going to be built by the swim club, and so right next to the swim club, that property there that's vacant, a vacant lot, and then catty corner of Holmes Elementary School. So kind of going out towards the equestrian center there,
Right.
that part of town.
Towards Larry's house.
Yeah, so that corner of land is being developed into a few single story, like I think maybe 7 buildings, each with like 2 or 3 units in each one, but single story. And I believe there's 21 units there. So that'll be good.
Well, housing is always good and needed. And there's there are up in Jeffersonville, where I have the radio station, there are 2 400-home developments. These are single-family homes that they've got proposed. And Jamestown's got some new development going on, and it's all in relation to the Honda plant, which is still under construction. Even now, they're adding on to it. But also Amazon has got a new data center that is under construction right next to the battery plant, and that will have additional employees there at the Amazon data center. I don't know what the numbers are, but I think right now there's about 2,500, 3,000 people working at the battery plant, which kind of surprised me. But and I don't know what's going on with Destination Outlets, because I had such high anticipation for what that place could have been. The problem is that the people that operate it, and I've met them because we had our studio there for a while. Well, I met the gentleman that one of the owners lives in Toronto. So I flew down and I talked with him when we first got set up there. But the other owners live in New York. They did have on site a manager and a social media girl, and they let them both go a few years back, and ever since the place has just gone. Traffic numbers have gone down. It's kind of hard when especially if you're a small business owner and you spend money to be in such a location, you're banking on traffic, foot traffic, people coming into the. And I know we've had some people on the show that operated I think it's called Little Bear food truck. And they were on the show. They physically located, there was a coffee shop that was in there that couldn't survive because of no traffic. So they went in there and they opened their Little Bear as a physical location, and they weren't even open 6 months. So they probably went in knowing that they had an out. But the problem with Destination Outlets was because I've talked in depth with them about different businesses, and I even talked to them about a pickleball facility and outdoor sand volleyball courts, and bringing in a brew pub, and there are all kinds of things that could go in there. Yeah. And they just recently, it's been an election or two ago, they approved a DORA designation for that whole mall.
Oh wow! So
you could conceivably, if there were multiple bars, restaurants, whatever, you could walk anywhere on the property, and there's like 88 acres there. Anywhere from one point on the property to another point with an open container.
They should have done, obviously that was built a while ago, but like the greens and places like that, and there's one, I think, Westchester area, whatever that's called, Liberty Center, where they built a place like that, but above everything is living in apartments. So you have like that built-in,
that's the green and
built-in
Green.
audience.
And I think that once again, when you look at younger people like that kind of living accommodation where they're sort of living where they could work, because there's offices in like the green, so you've got office space and a lot of companies locate there, but you've also got all those restaurants and shopping and all that. For
it's
a
like
young
a manicured
person,
downtown, basically.
Yeah, for young people, that that's like living downtown, but in probably a more controlled, secure environment than even living in some downtown cities.
Right.
So it makes perfect sense if you can live and work and shop, and you don't have to confine yourself to the green or to one of those locations, but that type of planning, I think, for the future for young people is what they choose, what they would prefer to live
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Final thing discussed at city planning was a permit to make a property on North South Street into an Airbnb. So right across
Who's
from
involved with that?
I think a local guy. I'm not sure.
It's not you, is it?
No, it's
Well,
not
we
me.
know you have an Airbnb, right?
I do, but
And
it's
weren't
not
you
in
interested
it's
in
not in a
expanding?
yeah. So the issue. So about a year ago, the city wanted Airbnb owner, like new Airbnb owners, to just have a permit with the city, just so that they know that it's an Airbnb. I think it was like a $30 charge or something small.
Just another tax.
Just another tax. But I think it was. I mean, we want to control a little bit. I have like a control. Just make sure that there's electric and plumbing, and just make sure I can do an inspection. I guess basically, I think.
Wouldn't that be a natural thing anyway? I mean, any building is subject to being inspected, both health-wise and, I think the $30 is just another way to jack some money out of your wallet.
Anyways,
If you've got, well, I mean,
that wasn't the point of the
yes, I know. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Anyways, so the property is across from, I believe, Wagstaff.
Okay. The
Wagstaff.
dentist?
Yeah, they're the ones that have the new sign out front, right? On
Right.
North South Street.
Yes.
So there's that little tiny trailer kind of building across from them.
Are you talking about
A little,
the diner that used to be?
it's a little diner thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So the property if you're looking at it, to the right of that is like a historic home looking thing.
That's
and
the
then,
Airbnb?
No, the one next to that one.
Because that is already an Airbnb, isn't it? Didn't the one that was the old, I think it was I don't know if there was an
think it's like-
attorney's office?
Yeah.
Or a doctor's office or something like that. It was a commercial space that they were utilizing. But I think that it was sold, and I thought that had just opened as a new Airbnb there at that location.
Yeah, the issue that the planning commission had is that I guess in the downtown core, you can't live downstairs without a board of zoning approval.
You mean like below street level?
No, on street level. So like, think of like the downtown. All these properties here have like
Oh,
businesses on the
they're
first
all
floor,
upstairs.
and the apartments are upstairs.
Right.
So that's what that's what the planning commission was.
They need a variance.
They thought that they needed a variance, so they weren't sure. So they're just seeking a legal opinion before they grant approval. But the issue is that, or the weird situation is that building isn't split, right? It's just a one building. It was used as a law office, the whole building.
Right.
But to section off the bottom from the top, there's like a big grand staircase in the property too. So there probably would be some resistance from the historical committee or whatever to like split that off,
Right.
So I think it's just gonna have to have a legal opinion and then get approved. I'm sure it'll get approved
I would imagine,
to make it all an Airbnb, one
right.
single
And I think
resident.
it makes perfect sense. And Airbnbs, we do need temporary living accommodations here in the city, and we've got a fair amount of hotels that have been built since but with the air park, as it has gotten successful and maybe lost some business, but going back and forth, I think that most of the hotel rooms, a lot of them are rented long term by the businesses that work out of the air park, and for pilots that are working for that are piloting the planes there for Amazon and that.
Yeah.
I know that there's even maybe some Airbnbs that are utilized the same way, where they have the company Amazon or companies related to Amazon have rented these Airbnb rooms on a permanent basis.
Yeah.
Which it's good for business and it's good for people visiting the city, and coming into the city. Now, I don't know how that works, because I know that the Visitors Bureau gets a certain amount of money off of rooms at the hotels. I don't know if that applies to Airbnbs. You've got an Airbnb, so is some of the tax money, is there a tax that's attached to that when someone comes in and stays in your Airbnb
So
that
my-
goes to the
yeah.
Convention and Visitors Bureau?
There is debate about that. My Airbnb is a residential property, so I obviously pay property taxes,
Right.
but I don't pay the special hotel lodging tax. Airbnb owners don't pay that in Clinton County. I'm not against paying that because it makes some sense. So, but it's not a current law, I guess, or yeah.
Well, for people that are, and they're not transient, but for people that are coming in and visiting the city, I don't know that if someone's going to come in for some reason and stay at an Airbnb or a hotel for that matter, that they're worried about how much tax is 7% or whatever is going to the Convention and Visitors Bureau anyway. It's not like an issue. I don't look at the hotels that have extra charge for, you're wanting to stay. So you're looking for accommodations that, that you like, where you like, it's convenient for you. And that does help entities like the Murphy Theater, like the Historical Society, because the Convention and Visitors Bureau, that tax that is generated by people that stay here in Wilmington actually goes back to Wilmington in the form of grants and things from, which is very beneficial to nonprofits that operate here in Clinton County as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of my Airbnb guests go to the Equestrian Center, so that's a great asset for our city.
You look at the two biggest draws as far as people coming from out of town and staying in Wilmington in hotels and that are probably the Murphy and the Equestrian Center. And in the Equestrian Center, they've got all kinds of housing, temporary. They've got they're not mobile homes, but they're mobile wides or double wides or whatever. They've got that are physically there. And of course, a lot of the people that they have those huge trailers that literally have living accommodations in them.
Yeah.
Although I don't know what it would be like. They would have to be smell-proof because you've got the horse's trailer that's apart. You live in the same trailer that the horse does. So I don't know how that works as far as I've never spent the night in a trailer like that. But the Equestrian Center brings in a lot of outside business all year round too.
So does the college though too. We have a lot of people stay from
That's true.
that either are alumni or parents. Or and that brings a lot of traffic in. Yeah,
and they come in, especially during the football season. They have their tailgates and all that, and some people bring their own trailers and that. But there's a lot of there is a lot that is brought in by the college as well.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break.
Okay.
You can collect yourselves, and we'll talk a little bit of Murphy Theater, and the books are there in front of you, and all you got to do is read, and. You can designate one of the two of you, or you can go back and forth and tag team it, however you want to do it. But we'll be right back after this message.
An overworked office manager with too much already on her plate, spotted at a local all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet.
Indeed, it's a sweet and sour love story of great fortune.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Investigative reporting. It's what we do, sometimes here at The Murphy Report.
From dining to fighting crime and everything in between, including the latest coming to Ohio's hometown theater, The Murphy.
The Murphy Report. A new report every Monday on the Murphy Theater website and on our own YouTube channel.
The mistrusted name in made-up news.
A badge we wear with honor.
Ooh, we get badges?
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us. Think zoo animals are uncooperative now, turning their backs on visitors and hiding in caves?
Well, buckle up for even more disappointment because now they're forming their own union.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. In-depth, behind-the-scenes stories just like these that we will dig up.
And sometimes make up. So don't you give up.
Not on us.
On The Murphy Report. Visit us on our website, themurphytheater.org, or on our own YouTube channel.
A new report is dropped every Monday morning.
It's news you can't count on The Murphy Report.
Hey, Amanda, what do panda bears with open sores and disgruntled zebras on strike have in common?
They both picket, Steve.
They both picket, Amanda.
It's news you can use.
And some you can lose on The Murphy Report. Remember, if it's news to you,
back.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wilmington. Again, Dustin Pierce and Molly Campbell with Real Change Wilmington. And we're your hosts today because Rick threw us under the bus this morning.
You're the host because we want to expand your hosting capabilities and become a more integral part of
You want to
Wake Up
exploit our dashing good looks and
Wilmington.
communication
I
skills.
definitely want to exploit your youth and your dashing good looks.
That's
right.
why we're your hosts
That's
today.
Right, yeah. At least one of you.
Sorry, Molly.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding. All right, so we're going to go over some of the events happening at the Murphy in the month of November, and Molly will get us started.
So this Friday, they are playing Saturday Night Fever. General admission is $7 or $12 for the family. It's at 7 p.m. this Friday. And then this Saturday at 10 a.m., there's coffee and conversation with donuts. So it's an open house for anyone interested in learning more about the inner workings and the outer workings of the Murphy Theater.
Starts right here in Charlie's.
Oh, it does?
And then after you have coffee and donuts here, you can ask some questions. Steve will take people down actually to the stage.
Yeah.
He's got a lectern down there, and he'll talk to people. Sometimes they give tours, like they'll take you into the changing rooms where people change, which is under the stage.
While they're changing?
So you, no.
Good.
So you, well, I mean, that's another show. But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
they're what obviously it's all about is transparency.
Yeah.
Since the Murphy is nonprofit, and it's the people's theater, so to speak.
Yeah.
People that support it, and not just the members, and you can be a member of the Murphy Theater for as little as $50.
$50?
$50 can make you a member. In fact, your business could be a member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that there's some very wealthy people in the community who purchase the box seats for the year.
$5,000.
$5,000.
Yes, $5,000.
Not even sponsoring anything. They're just, it's just
give you
their
the
entertainment.
President of the board of the Murphy Theater, her and her husband, who is a doctor, they have a box. I think they've had it for 2 years now. But yeah, it's not cheap, but it's a little rich for my blood. But
Yeah.
they'll just all they give me is Charlie's.
Maybe I could purchase a box and then like put a banner over it when I go to the shows of like
I don't
an
think they do.
advertisement of
I
something.
don't
No?
think I don't think they would.
Probably no one would like
The
that.
best you're going to make it is right here by being host on the show.
Oh my
You'll get all the
gosh.
promotion you need right
And my golden chains
That's
too.
right.
Okay.
Golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
That's what they
Golden
are.
handcuffs.
Yeah.
All right. Other events in the Murphy Theater on Saturday, November 8th. ABBA Mania and Night Fever happening at 7:30. It's a tribute to the Bee Gees. Tickets are on sale now. And then on Friday, November 14th at 7 o'clock, they're showing a movie, Chicago. So PG-13, released in 2002, and it is $7 each or $12 for a whole family at the door. Good event there.
Going back to Saturday Night Fever and the Bee Gees, of course,
Yeah.
that was my time.
That's staying alive.
In the 70s, I disc jockeyed in nightclubs, and I would wear these double knit suits. Double knit, you had to be careful of anyone with cigarettes being near you, because back then there were a lot more people smoking, because they would literally light on fire. But you'd wear these double knit suits, you'd have elephant bells and platform shoes, and that was the garb back then in the 70s. I don't ever want to revisit that. Never.
Yikes. All right, other things.
There's also the Cavalcade of Stars, which is a big talent competition. There's 3 winners: Judge's Choice, Audience Favorite, and Most Votes. And that will be Saturday, November 15th at 7 p.m. And all the tickets are $10.
Right. And from what I've heard, at least the singing part of it, it's very, very good. But they're going to have the aerials, which is and I've seen the aerials several places. Wilmington High School is an example. At halftime of the basketball games, the aerials, they have the little twirly things but they also do. They're skipping rope, but the ropes have LEDs in them, and so they'll turn the lights out. And they're really good, and I don't even know how they do it. Very flexible, I guess.
Definitely see that show.
Oh, yeah.
Then later in the month, Friday, November 21st at 7 o'clock, they're showing Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, a classic by Steve Martin and John Candy. So definitely check that out. Again, $7 a ticket or $12 for a family. Then on, let's see, November 28th, end of the month, I think that's the day before the Holodazzle. So the Friday before
That's right.
Holodazzle,
And
they're
we're going to
showing.
be streaming Holodazzle as a part of Wake Up Wilmington in the evening.
Okay.
Here from the Murphy Theater, we'll be
We'll
have
in it.
we'll have our new camera on the street.
Nice.
So we'll be able to do a camera view. It's right there on the corner of Mulberry, or will be on the corner of Mulberry and Main. So you'll be able to go online and actually see
Nice.
whether it's snowing in Wilmington or whatever's going on from that camera, because it'll be available from the website of Main Street Wilmington and maybe a couple other websites. Yeah.
That's awesome. So again, Friday 28th before the Holodazzle, they're showing Nutcrackers, which was obviously filmed in
Right here.
Wilmington
Right.
with Ben Stiller. So they're showing that at the Murphy Friday, November 28th. Oh, fundraiser today at Fiesta Veracruz for the Murphy Theater. Definitely check that out if you need some lunch. Support Fiesta Veracruz and the Murphy all in one time
I
and
think
get lunch.
15% of whatever, excluding alcohol, comes back to the Murphy Theater. And we have a couple of merchants, businesses that participate in that, B-Dubs as well as Fiesta Veracruz. And they're very supportive. And that helps the Murphy immensely too.
Yeah. Other fundraisers is, like you said, Buffalo Wild Wings on every Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m.
The second Wednesday.
I'm sorry, the second Wednesday of
And-
every month.
Fiesta is the first Wednesday of
Okay.
every month, which I just learned yesterday.
Sound like a married couple.
Yeah, so eat local and support local. Can I do the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Drowsy
Well, let
Lads.
me do it,
The
let me do
Drowsy
it.
Lads are coming on December 6th. So normally they come for St. Patty's Day, but I think there was a scheduling conflict or a sickness or something that they couldn't come this year on St. Patty's Day. So they'll be here on December 6th. The Drowsy Lads. Fun fact, I am friends with. Actually, I used to go to church with the same church that the Drowsy Lads went to in Columbus, or go to in Columbus. And one of the guys, Brian Brooks, I'm his brother, one of his brother's friends, Andrew Brooks. I used to live with them. So great guys, great music, always a good time. When the Drowsy Lads come to Murphy Theater, check that out on December 6th this year.
But are they really drowsy?
They're drowsy. Nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're always a lot of energy.
Okay.
Spunky lads,
Spunky lad.
they should call them. Yeah.
Do you want me to do the next page?
Yeah.
And then December 13th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. and December 14th at 2 p.m. The Nutcracker Ballet will be, the Ballet Tech of Ohio will present the Nutcracker. And tickets range from $10 to $25.
Right. I think that has to do with where you're seated in the auditorium. But they have been on our show, at least the director of the ballet, and it's very good. They do a very good job. So they're back for another appearance here.
Nice.
And last but not least,
Charlie's Classic Christmas. That will be December 19th and 20th at 7 p.m. and December 20th and 21st at 2 p.m. And all tickets are $12.
so we've got a great Christmas season, and don't forget Thanksgiving coming up here in the future here at the Murphy Theater, and we appreciate all the support that we get from the community, because this is your theater. Yeah.
Is that it for the show today?
That's it for the show. Well, it's 9:56, so the way we're going to wrap this up is, first of all, I'm going to thank my hosts. They did a fantastic job, particularly Molly, who was under the weather.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I know you were thinking I was going a different direction, but no, because she's under the weather.
Yeah.
Lots of sniffles and that. We hope she gets over that quickly. And but anyway, she managed to get through 2 hours of on the air with you.
I know.
Because I know you're always ragging on her. I don't know how she even. Yeah, how do you put up with this?
Oh my
It's incredible. But anyway, this coming weekend, since we're getting close to the weekend, this coming weekend, Campus Nation will be live and on the air from Jackson, Ohio. The Miami Trace Panthers, who are in the second round of the playoffs, will be playing Jackson. Just some fun facts: Jackson and Miami Trace are in the same league, the FAC. Jackson won the league again for the fourth year after beating Miami Trace, who was undefeated at the time, a few weeks back. Miami Trace is still 9-1. Well, now they're 10-1 since they beat Hillsborough in the first game of the playoffs. But I think they might have. I think they might get their their payback for Jackson coming up this Friday. That's just my feeling. The game was pretty close the last time till the last quarter, and I think that Miami Trace, at least they've seen them enough that they will give them a bigger run for their money this coming Friday. And the Blue Lions, they're also in the playoffs. They'll play their second game in the playoffs. Sean Grooms, who is one of our broadcasters, and congratulations, Sean Grooms, you are now an official school board member of Miami Trace. And please, Sean, as one of your first edicts that you're going to put down from get the windows fixed in the press box so they're not steamed up. Get them clear again so we've got all those windows. He says, good job, enjoyed it today. It didn't seem as loud as normal. He's referring to Joe Davis, and he does not choose Joe Davis, but his partner in crime, who I'm telling everybody is at the doctor today for a prostate exam. Now, that may or may not be true, but
it's also TMI, too.
It makes a good story, at least for me, giving Joe a hard time. But and Sean Grooms and Joe Davis will be there in Jackson this Friday for that game. And we're going to have another ride. I don't know, Sean, are you going to ride with us, or are you going to, because I think we're going to get our second cameraman that will be on the field, because we will have a camera on the field at Jackson, beside having a camera in the press box, so 2 cameras. But our field cameraman, who is also our new host, or one of the hosts for our Wake Up Washington Courthouse, Uncle Punky, will be there, and he's going to ride with us. So, I think you're taking the girls, aren't you? Jackson is a fur piece, as they say, as far as a drive, and he has daughters. His daughters both drive now, but his senior daughter, I don't think that he lets her drive that far out of town. It's not that she isn't a good driver, I guess. I don't know. And you don't want to cross Zoe, because she can be pretty, how we say, I don't know. But anyway, Zoe is a piece of work, so to speak. She's a good girl. She's on the Miami Trace basketball team, so we look forward to having her on our basketball highlights there as well. But his younger daughter, Lawson, is also probably going to ride with him. So anyway, I'll have a car load, I'm sure. Yes, I bet you will, Sean. Great. So once again, congratulations. It's 10 o'clock. Believe it or not, our hosts have made it through an entire 2 hours. You're always here 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's just that we didn't play any games. Maybe we'll have games
all business this time. All business.
Next time, and hopefully they'll be more frequent, you're going to be able to be bringing people in with you, people that may be advertisers from your newspaper and that. We got to work on this. We got to talk about this.
All right.
I know you're chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
You're anxious. And
all these extra responsibilities and the same pay.
We'll
$0.
We'll talk about maybe a second newspaper.
Yeah,
you never know. I'm for that. All right.
All right.